Hey Leslie, I wanted to give you a quick introduction to your new Canva account and show you some of the templates that I have set up for you to use. When you first log in, your dashboard should look something like this. And if you go over here on the left and click all your designs, you'll see the things that I have set up for you so far. So your brand guide is the first thing that's in here with all of the colors and the names of the fonts. And you should have that as a PDF too, but it's in here if you ever want to reference it. Your social media profile images, those different options that I put together for you. The different Facebook covers, if you want to edit or re-download those. LinkedIn, same thing. You can go in and make edits or download. This is how I did the icons for your email signature. So they're in here if you ever need to pull those. The two that I created specifically for social media, though, are a quote template and an event template. And I'm going to launch both of those and show you how you can make some edits. So you can work directly in this template that I've set up for you, or I'm going to go back to that original page. You can also click the three little dots here on top of the preview and make a copy and just save it under a different file name. And that way this will preserve the original template that I created. Or you can just click and re-edit the template each time, whatever is easier for you. So when you go in here, let's make this just a little bit bigger. You've got a few different designs that I created for quotes. So if you're wanting to publish a quote on like your Facebook or your LinkedIn page or both, you could put it in one of these and it'll be branded with your website and your little submark there. So there's one with the gradient background, there's one with the teal background, and then there's one with the white background. It's kind of the fun quote graphic there. So in any case, you would want to pick one and you just click right on top of the text. Looks like I didn't put a closing quote mark there, but you go in, you would type your new quote. Okay. My beautiful quote. Okay, so maybe make that fit again. So obviously there's a lot of space here. So you can click in here, and then up here you have some different formatting options. So you can play with the text size. You can make it maybe a little more narrow. And now it's not centered anymore, so you can go to position, and there's a little centering option. So you can just kind of play around. I've selected it and I'm using the arrows to kind of bump it down a little bit. Right, so you can format it based on the text to fit that space. You can bold it, italicize, all your standard formatting options are up here. The text color, I would recommend kind of keeping them the way they are for legibility, but if you wanted to create a new one or play with text colors, you could do it there. Likewise, the fonts are here, and your fonts are Open Sans and Babus New, so you've got the two up there as part of your template. And then you could, same thing, click in here, type the quote author. It should expand to fit the text. If for some reason it doesn't, you can just grab this and make it a little bit bigger. And same thing, just make sure it's centered. So you can go through on any of these and make any of those types of edits that you'd like to. You can also, if you want to copy these, you can use the little copy and paste function. It'll create a duplicate right here in the document. So if you're doing it pretty often, this could get pretty big if you're duplicating in here each time, which is why I showed you originally how to replicate the file on that first dashboard. But you can do it here in the document. You can give each new graphic that you're creating a new title. You can also delete it when you're done. And then when you're ready to download, you can just click this little down arrow here I think the publish option would work too. PNG is always a good choice. It's going to by default select all three, but maybe you just want the one you've been working on. So we just worked on that first one. Right, so click done and then download. And it's just going to save it right to your desktop. And you've got your graphic there you can work with. So you can drag it onto the desktop and then upload it to your social media. All right, so that's how you would edit an existing document. I'm going to go back to this main dashboard. You've got the same option here with some event templates that I created. And similarly, you can come in here, make your edits directly on these. You could create a copy of the one within this document to make the edits, or you could use those three buttons there to make a copy, a new document here on the dashboard. So we did the quote. So this is for events. So if you have an upcoming event, you would put the name of the event here. If you're the key speaker, keep that information there. Maybe put like a short description, the date, the time. You could put like a link or just instructions for how to register. Here at the bottom, I just want to give you some flexible, layout pieces here to work with. Same thing here, it's just formatted a little bit differently. So you can go in, click around, edit the text, and then save the image file to your desktop and post to social media. So then those are your existing files that I created for you that are already branded and ready to go. And I want to show you too, if you want to create a new design, you can go back to the home page. And it's probably an option down here. Yeah, you can click social media. You could also type in social media. But when you click that, it's going to give you a nice square to start with. You can start with blank. And there's tons and tons of templates in here. So you can kind of scroll through. If you see something, the colors don't really matter, but if you see something from a layout perspective that you like, you can use one of these as a starting point. If you wanted some kind of similar template. So what I wanted to show you about these, let's use this one. I'm going to click on this. Okay, so once you have this open, you could change it to whatever title you want to save it as. You can obviously go in and click and edit the text the same as I showed you before. You can also click in here and you can change it to your fonts. So that's kind of fun. And you just kind of play with it to maybe make that a little bit bigger, right? And then your other font is Open Sans. Yep, it's already set to that. Okay, so you don't have yellow in your color palette, so we could select that. You'll see the little color block here. We've got 3 of your key colors set up to go, so you could make that turquoise teal. Maybe change the border color. I don't know. Something like that. We can make the text white. And then maybe we don't like this background image, so over here on the left, you've got some different elements that you can place on each graphic. If you go to photos, you can search. I've just been searching with the word school, but you could type in whatever keyword you want. Maybe we put that one in. I'm just going to make it cover the whole thing. And then you can click position up here and send it to the back. Maybe we delete that other one. Oops. And then you have something more like that that's closer to your brand. You can also, over here on the left, if you keep scrolling down, whoops, on my laptop, it's a little harder to grab things. Okay, there's an upload section, and this has all of your logo files in your headshot, and also those gradient backgrounds, right? So maybe we want to include your logo on here. And just click that, resize it. Maybe we delete that to make a little bit more room. I'm just kind of making this up, but hopefully you kind of get the general idea here. You can go in and work with an existing template. These are especially good for like holidays. They have a lot of good holiday specific templates, and you can tweak the colors a little bit so it's closer to your brand palette. You can also tweak the fonts to match your brand. You can throw your logo on there if you see something that you like. So anyway, I encourage you to just kind of play around here. If you're trying to create a new text box or you want to insert a new element, like there's lots of icons and clip art, different shapes, like this is a square, right? And the transparency is set on this. So for instance, if you click the square that was already on here, this transparency tells you it's at 85%. So that's why we can see through it a little bit. You could change that to something really low. That's almost impossible to see. How about that? So that's 40%. Obviously, if it's 100%, it's solid, right? So you can go in and kind of play around with the transparency to get the look you're going for. Just a few animated options here. You can do charts, different types of lines or dividers. So there's also sorts of stuff in here. Like I mentioned, it's a free app, but if you find yourself, let's look at shapes, for instance. If you're looking through the different elements, some of them might have a $sign by them. These might all be free. Okay, let's try a photo instead, sorry. Let's try school. So when you scroll through, you'll see some of them have this little crown here, and they say Pro. So if you really want to, you can include these pictures, and when you go to download it, it's going to try to charge you the $1 or whatever each picture costs. So I tend to use the ones without that just say free. You can also find a picture, on a free stock photo site or something like that, and add it in your upload section. So you can upload any image here that you already have and have permission to use, and you can incorporate that in your designs too. So I hope that helps. This is a great tool for social media posts, just to give your posts a little bit more consistency and look a little bit sharper, and include your logo and brand and that kind of thing. So anyway, I hope this is a good starting point, and if you have any questions, definitely let me know. Thanks.